Fox News can confirm that cocaine was indeed found in the West Wing on Sunday while President Biden and his family were away at Camp David.
It's a story that has created a right-wing frenzy.
It is illegal. You don't bring it into the White House. If you're a staffer high on cocaine, you shouldn't be in the White House.
I love how the media pounces on the right for bringing up Hunter, as if, like, he isn't the most obvious culprit. Is there somebody else we're missing, media?
And then there is Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene, who never misses an opportunity to attack the Bidens. Don't worry, press secretary, we oversight Republicans are going to ask Secret Service about cocaine found in the White House. I'd also like to know if White House staff and administration, as well as Hunter Biden, can pass a drug test. And what list of meds or drugs is Joe taking? Yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene wants a federal investigation and punishment for whoever brought cocaine into the White House. And this is the same woman who keeps complaining about the federal investigation and punishment of the January 6 rioters.
The federal government should never be weaponized against the people and set up honeypots and traps to draw people in and actually take part in making these people commit crimes.
That's right. Greene thinks the January 6 rioters were drawn into the Capitol and that the violence wasn't their fault. They were made to do it.
And then framing the people to set up a narrative against a president, it's wrong.
Framing a narrative against a president, which is what Greene is doing in demanding White House staff and the Bidens take a drug test. The blatant hypocrisy in Marjorie Taylor Greene runs deep, and it emerges literally every time she opens her mouth or posts anything on social media. And now, Greene is being humiliated by other Republicans who point out the claim that Hunter Biden could have left cocaine in a heavily trafficked West Wing cubbyhole is absurd.
It is a heavily trafficked area. There are cubbies there. I've got to believe this was discovered rather quickly because there's a Secret Service officer sitting right there.
Right there.
So it couldn't have been there for days and days. It had to have been there for, I would say, minutes before someone took notice. And for it to be Hunter Biden, he left on Friday. He was at Camp David. There is no way. It is inconceivable to think cocaine could sit for a 72-hour period. So I would rule him out at this point.
All right.
Rule out Hunter Biden. Well, don't count on Marjorie Taylor Greene using basic logic or facts to get in the way of her Biden smears. And speaking of smears, let's put a few things in perspective. Marjorie Taylor Greene is more angry and upset over a visitor leaving cocaine in the White House than she is about a visitor or several of them smearing feces on the walls of the Capitol January the 6th. I wonder why. Perhaps Greene has a soft spot for people who peddle excrement. After all, she peddles her crap literally every day. Perhaps she can relate to the January 6 rioters in a way she cannot with someone who does cocaine. But then again, if I had to bet on any member of Congress being under the influence of drugs, it would be Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is arguably in her own psychotic world. To be clear, I hope the Secret Service does a full investigation into the cocaine at the White House and sets up some new procedures to detect and stop that powder and others like anthrax. But Republicans make a mockery of the real issues here when they don't rein in their lunatics like Marjorie Taylor Greene. By the way, another prominent Republican in Congress, Jim Jordan, recently got some awful news from the U.S. Supreme Court, and it means the former wrestling coach will soon have to answer some tough questions under oath.
Ohio State wrestlers tell NBC News they were sexually abused by a team doctor. Several accusers believe it was known by Republican Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan.
Check out that story at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.